Hartford has one of the largest populations of West Indians in the country. No surprise to Jamaican dignitary Delano Franklyn, who is visiting our capital city. Welcome to Hartford, Connecticut.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
One of the largest concentrations of West Indians in the country. What brings you here, and how can Hartford better connect with its West Indian roots?
Well, I tell you this. I have discovered long ago that Hartford has a huge population of West Indians, and primarily Jamaicans. And the connection between Jamaicans living here and, of course, Jamaicans in Jamaica is one that is extremely strong. Since I've been here the last few days, I've engaged quite a number of Jamaicans who have been asking about Jamaica, but who have been able to say to me, listen, I have been back to Jamaica in recent times. So the connection is really there. And what has happened and what has made it a little bit more unique is that Jamaicans have been able to transpose the culture, the way of life. I am sure that you have tasted the Jamaican food.
Jamaican patties.
Oh, the Jamaican patties.
My parents are from Kingston and South Lamar. I'm born here in the States, so I know about that.
So you're stretched from Westmoreland to Kingston, covering the entire country.
Saltfish, cocoa bread, I know all that stuff.
Everything. That's very good. But we have 2.7 million people living in Jamaica. And it is estimated that we have some 2.7 million people living outside of Jamaica. So if you were to have a combined population, you're talking about over 5 million people. And if we're able to harness the relationship between those who are inside and those who are outside, then I believe that we can be a powerful set.
How about the relations now? One thing I've noticed being American-born with West Indian parents, you notice the friction there between American-born blacks and folks who are coming from the Caribbean. A lot of tension and friction. Your thoughts about that?
You will have. It is something that you cannot escape. From the West Indian perspective, up to the third, fourth generation is considered to be a part of the West Indian diaspora community, or in my case, the Jamaican diaspora community. And you will always have the clash of cultures, because you're talking about the integration of a people from afar with what actually exists. And where it is possible, then you will have persons who would wish to penetrate the culture. And therefore, what I've experienced thus far here in Hartford is a situation where Jamaicans have been able to establish a kind of Jamaican way of life here, but at the same time integrating themselves in the Jamaican society which exists. So it is natural that you will have friction. It is natural that you will have challenges. Right. The important thing is to manage it.
But in the African diaspora, you have that friction all the time. But yet you have this sharing of poverty. If you go to Africa, you see extreme poverty. You've been to Africa. If you've been in Jamaica, you see extreme poverty. So you'd think that when they come here and from the poorer parts of the city, they could connect by sharing that link to poverty. Yet there's that resentment that these folks are coming in, taking jobs, taking opportunities. And it seems to be part of what continues to divide the diaspora.
Absolutely. People would leave the West Indies. The first wave of West Indians to actually come into the United States, for example, the first real wave took place in the early 1930s, 1940s, and it picked up steam in the 1960s and in the 1970s. And
most came over, they were working the tobacco fields here in Hartford. Working the fields and their families with their homes.
They came as agricultural workers. They came as laborers, initially as part of a work program with a view to return from whence they came. Well, having come, they made connections in different ways, and they decided to settle. They started families, started businesses, and they came. And one of the critical things which you have pointed out is the fact that where the economies are under strain, in difficulties, for example, the issue of employment, you will always have the notion of persons coming to displace others.
Right. It's always been there, right?
It has always been there.
Conquer, right?
It has always been there, and it will be there for a long period of time.
We have about 2 minutes left. Let me talk to you about Barack Obama. What was the reaction to the first African-American president of the United States on the island?
The impact phenomenal. The campaign, Jamaicans followed it as if they were following a local campaign. The night of the elections, Jamaicans followed right through. And when he came through victorious, it had a significant impact. Don't forget persons like Marcus Garvey, who from the year 1920 through to 1930s always spoke about equality of persons, irrespective of the color, your pigmentation, the difficulties which people of Obama's pigmentation would have gone through in the 1930s, 1940s, and to have seen a person like him elevated to the position of president, I think represents and signal that you can do, irrespective of what your color may be, you have the capacity and you have the ability to be able to take on very powerful challenges.
About 30 seconds.
Sure.
Real quick, what's the one thing that Jamaica needs right now? If you were to tell people who are connected, poor country still, yes, one thing the country needs right now?
To come and explore and to see whether or not you could invest and to help to shape and direct the economy.
So investment.
Investment.
You're author of 2 books, Sprinting into History. Also Michael Manley, The Politics of Equality. Michael Manley, former Prime Minister. Yes. Let's talk about Jamaica and sports. You've got the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt. Yes. Jamaican and track stars, you mentioned only 2.7 million people. Yes. For a very small country, yes, has a disproportionate number of outstanding track athletes. How does that help to elevate and brand the country?
Well, it has branded the country.
Usain Bolt was in Hartford, by the way, a few months back.
Yes, indeed. And Usain Bolt is now the most well-known Jamaican in the world. This is a young man, 23 years of age. I think he was about 22 years of age, who came from ordinary background in Jamaica, ordinary community in Jamaica, and is now a superstar, meaning that he's the fastest man on the planet. And prior to Usain Bolt, don't forget that we had Asafa Powell, who was also a world record holder and who has done the most sub-10s, over 62 sub-10s in the world. Phenomenal.
And a guy named Donald Quarry.
Donald Quarry in 1976. Right? He won the gold medal, yes? He won the gold medal. But Jamaica have been winning medals at the Olympics from as far back as 1948 with Herb McKinley. So we have a very rich athletic tradition in Jamaica. Usain Bolt, of course, being one of those, continuing that fine tradition.
All right, so listen, enjoy your stay here in Hartford, and we'll see you when you come back again. Give us a call. Good luck with the book.
Thank you very much.
All right.
It was a pleasure being here.
Yeah, same here. Good to see you here. I want to thank all our guests, folks, Elaine Zimmerman and Ann Freeberg and Delano Franklyn. You can send your show comments or requests or even watch us again at ctnow.com and friend us on Facebook. Become a fan of the Stan Simpson Show. We're on Twitter, too, so look out for our tweets. Lori Perez and The Real Story are next for the good folks here at Fox 61. I'm Stan Simpson. We'll see you next week.